How about this? I also think Mark Cuban said he's comfortable with paying his fair share of taxes.
Absolutely.
Right. So
he talked about it.
That speaks more into like where his values are. That'd be different if Congress wanted to go past it. I want to see what he would say then.
Right.
I mean, because he could say one thing and then have lobbyists like, listen, I know that said X, Y, and Z on TV, but you better make sure I gotta pay my fair share.
Right. No, that's real.
It's possible.
That's real talk.
Because he could have funded Bernie. I wonder if he could have funded Bernie Sanders' campaign single-handedly.
That's a good question.
I'm saying, or got other billionaires.
That's a good question. No, for real.
Yeah, actions speak louder than your words.
I just believe in my heart that that's only because I'm going to get bigger and better clients. So.
Right. That makes sense to me because Epstein had such reach of other powerful people. So imagine how he was moving society.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like that's Diddy on a really small level compared to what he was doing.
Yep.
I mean, ties with Trump, ties with Clinton, like that's just crazy. The ties with like princes in other countries, like it's ridiculous.
I would love, what's interesting for me is always fascinated with people like a Diddy from a psychological standpoint. I would love to know what goes on in their mind. I don't know why. I've always been fascinated by stuff like that. Even Epstein, you know what I mean? Like, what is the, I don't want to say breakdown, but what's the rub, so to speak? And that's putting it very slang-like, but their minds amaze me. And I don't mean it from a, like, want to be like them, but what's up?
Just the abstract thought for that.
Yeah, there it is.
How about this? I truly do believe that billionaires are slave owners.
Okay.
And that politicians typically are overseers, middle class and poor people are slaves.
Okay. Well, yeah, clearly.
So if
I didn't agree with you with the other two, I can definitely meet, which I do, by the way. Mm-hmm. But I definitely could agree with you on the last part. The middle class and are slaves.
Right?
Yep.
So now, if I have a billionaire, mind you, like Diddy, R. Kelly, on a lower scale, Epstein would use your ambitions as a way to control you.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, what you want to do, and like key to your success, all that kind of good stuff. So a slave owner typically wants to exploit your body.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like control people. Things change then. So it's just, I think it just makes it. I think that's the rub.
Yep.
Is the people trying to control people. And I could be wrong.
No.
Mark Cuban could be different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen. Well, there's outliers in everything. So
how about that?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anything is 100% off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, he could be an outlier or not. You know what I mean? Who knows? But I know that there has to be outliers in it. But I would venture to say that you're on course now. Have a good one.
Say again?
I would venture to say you're on course with that. You know what I mean? With that hypothesis, so to speak.
How about this? I also think Mark Cuban said he's comfortable with paying his fair share of taxes.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's
he talked about it.
That speaks more into like where his values are. That'd be different if Congress wanted to go past it. I want to see what he would say then.
Right.
I mean, because he could say one thing and then have lobbyists like, listen, I know that said X, Y, and Z on TV, but you better make sure I gotta pay my fair share.
Right. No, that's real.
It's possible.
That's real talk.
Because he could have funded Bernie. I wonder if he could have funded Bernie Sanders' campaign single-handedly.
That's a good question.
I'm saying, or got other billionaires.
That's a good question. No, for real.
Yeah, actions speak louder than your words.
Yeah.
But whatever. For the mustache, how low you want it to go? I just thought about something. You're about to make me go viral, yo.
All right. Why is that?
Because it's an authentic conversation embodying exactly what I want to get out on a barbershop with somebody I really, truly respect and admire. Yeah.
For sure.
I don't think this energy exists in the barbershop, bro. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How we met was amazing.
Right. I think about it all the time. I really do.
Let's go through the story, man. So you picked me up. I was getting a ride home from this very building.
Yep. Matter of fact, I didn't even pick you up in front of the drive. I picked you up right there at that Sharp Neck Street right there.
Yeah.
I picked you up on that corner. You got in that corner.
Damn.
I remember. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the conversation was about.
Mm-hmm.
When
I don't know. I recall. Well, the first thing I recall was I was going to. And you said no, just go down Sharp Neck and make right and hit Lincoln Drive that way. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when you were like, you gave me your card.
Yeah.
I think.
I remember we were riding. I think we got to West Philly, and I was basically saying, I see what your barber was trying to do.
Right.
And I think I could do a little different.
Right, those were the exact words.
It wasn't a critique. It wasn't like a mean critique or anything like that about cut. I just thought I could do it different.
Right.
And And
Right.
when you came in, I gave you my first cut to you on the house. And when you came in, the energy was even better than our first conversation.
Right.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, Trace.
Mhm.
I got my curly hair up. Yeah, that was an amazing thing, man. We've been brothers ever since.
Absolutely. And I value
We've
that.
been through a lot too, bro.
Yeah, man. How about that? It's crazy. Because I never thought, I always knew that I would find a better barber than, okay, let me say it to you this way. You, by the quality of your haircut that you gave me, really made me value haircuts again. Because hair, historically, and if my wife was here, she would tell you, it was never a big thing for me. Like, I was never one of those, gotta get my hair cut. Oh my God, my line is a bit off. I've always had kind of the mantra of it's only hair. Like, for real, like, it'll grow back. You know what I mean? You take your hairline back too far, whatever. If you take it down too far, well, it'll grow back. And if it don't, oh well, it's hair. But when I got cut from you, I was like, now I see why people pay. Because I used to be of the mindset that, like my son Charles goes to a guy named Chink the Barber. And well, he used to, but Chink's schedule is funny. But when my son used to tell me that he was paying $50 and $60 for a cut, and this was years ago, the thought of that to me used to make me cringe. I was like, that's crazy. For real, like I was like, that's crazy. I thought that to myself. I never said that to him. You know what I mean? Because I understand that we value what we value. And what's valuable to me, what's valuable to me might not be to you. And it doesn't make me right and you wrong. Or vice versa. But once I got a haircut from you, I was like, that's what it is. And so what it did is it gave me understanding of what a quality cut was like. And in truth, I always knew that I would find a better barber than who I was going to because I knew my barber was at the end of the line, basically. What I didn't ever foresee was that I would find a barber that I was as intimate with and as personal with. Because my old barber cut my hair from the time I was 12 up until I was in my early 40s. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of history attached to that. And you've had the capacity through your personality, through atmosphere to kind of speed up the time where it feels like I've been knowing you much longer than 2019. You know what I mean? So,
well, I would say this. First of all, pause you on the intimacy part.
well,
But,
yeah.
you know.
I said it with intentionality.
I know. But,
I did.
But I will say I only give my business card to people who I generally have a strong connection with.
I feel that. I respect that too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and even though we joke and we kid a lot,
yeah.
Pause situation.
Right.
I love you to death. Like, you really are my brother, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's the best part about knowing you, dog. Like, first of all, the fact that you were you were an only child.
Yep.
I reckon, everybody loves you, bro. Everybody loves you, man.
Yeah. My wife told me something a couple of days ago that made me laugh. It wasn't the first time she said it, but she said, you single-handedly made my Q rating go up.
Q rating? Q rating, what is that?
You know, when presidents are popular, they have what they call a Q rating. And like when Obama was in office, like the Q rating was at an all-time high. It just means what people think about you personally. You know what I mean? It was, I think his Q rating was the highest of any president ever in history since they started recording it. And they started recording it back, whoever was the president before Jimmy Carter. That's how far Q rating goes back. And Obama, even now, has the highest Q rating ever for a term, for 2 terms. But so my wife always jokes and she always says, people like me because they love you. She says it all the time. Because Tam is hard. Tam is rough around the edges, and she is not. It's hard to embrace Tam.
Hard to read a little bit.
Yeah, she's a big rough until you really get to know her, and she can rub people the wrong way. She can easily, very easily.
Kind of more or less like I think I used to be that way too. Like no filter, really. I'm just gonna let you know how I feel.
Yeah. And I have a way of kind of smoothing that over, and not on purpose. I've always been that way. I always tell people in my entire life I've been in one fight ever, and that wasn't even really a fight. It was more of a wrestling match, and he went his way and I went mine. I've always been that kind of guy.
Real quick to add to that, for example, when we're having our debates or talks, I recognize how you are real diplomatic.